before we try to understand what HTML is, we have to understand where it actually came from. So it came from XML. Now we'll see what XML is. We will not go deep into XML. So XML is basically extensible markup language. Now the primary reason to use this language is to store. Okay, I'll show you how you basically store it. Now this is one format. Okay, let's say we're gonna do list of actors who received more than 3 Academy Awards. Say this is Daniel Day-Lewis, actors, tab, actor, Daniel Day-Lewis, closing tag, Frances McDormand, Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson, I'm going to close this. Now I'm gonna save this as actors.xml. Save this in my preferred folder. Okay, so look at it. I could save this in any format, so any acceptable formats in the programming world, so any programming language format. But this, what I wrote, is basically an XML format, so I'm storing this in a .xml fashion. So actors is a tag I opened. Okay, this is a choice of my, so this is my choice, and for this context, for storing actors, I pretty much chose this context. Now inside that, I could have multiple actors, so this is my data. Now let's look at it. I open this with actors, I close this with actors, so there has to be a match. Now within that, I have like multiple actor. Now I open this with actor and I close with actor, so this matches what the computer sees. This is not a programming language, this is a way to store data. So when you store data, like in this file, when your code reads it, it has to understand the pattern. So the code understands XML. I mean, your code or a programming language that might understand XML. So for which it should have a pattern. So basically, uh, a pattern for XML is you have a opening tag, you have a closing tag for that. So whatever comes in between is the data. So that's how it is. Now we'll try one more now. We just saw this example, right? Students list. Now there's a students list. You opened it. There is a student. Inside student, you have a first name, last name, certificate. We'll do that. We have a students list. Okay, let me save this as XML. So when I save it as XML, VS Code knows how to handle this file. So when I do a closing tag, it automatically shows students list. Now inside students list I could have something like a student. So by a student I mean a single student. Now see, this is a specific pattern. Now name is Raj, roll number is 766. Now his address, let's say California. Now if you look at it, name starts with name, ends with name. So this is one tag. Likewise you have three multiple tags. But XMLs can be hierarchical, meaning these three information is for one student. So there's one student, you can have multiple students like that, meaning Raj, Ravi's ID is 989 and he lives in Mexico. So let's see, so this is one record, this is two record. I'm gonna have a Nisha 455 and she also stays in California. So you have like three records and then you have one record, two record and three. So totally you have three records. So but each record format is the same. Now you can't just have something like say full name. This actually makes a bad data because your program that you have written, I mean you haven't written it for this one now, but pretty much if you write a program, it knows it has to look for the name. It can't be like for one record it has to be full name, the other record it has to be name. So it can't be like that. So we'll see how data is pretty much perceived in the database sessions. Right now we're focusing on XML, but I want to tell you that HTML evolved from XML. That is why we are looking at it here. So this information about XML is really sufficient for us to proceed for HTML.